fellow classified collectors. Here's another figure unboxing for you. This time we're looking at Kamakura. He's a G.I. Joe ninja. He's not Snake Eyes, obviously. He's some sort of Arashikage clan ninja. And the thing that immediately struck me about him is he's a figure that feels like what they sometimes try to make Snake Eyes into, a ninja commando. But he's got the ninja garb, which is interesting, because Snake Eyes wears the black. I think that's what I think of him, Commando Snake Eyes, more than Ninja Snake Eyes. Although I do hope at some point we'll get a version with everything, with katanas, guns, and more accessories that maybe has a different look. V4 Snake Eyes is probably going to happen, which would be pretty cool if he comes with both. Especially because I feel like Snake Eyes should have katanas. This guy apparently does. You can look at the back of his packaging. Obviously, this is the older style windowless packaging. You have a figure that comes with great box art. That's the one thing about the windowless packages that I did like, is this artwork. It looks really good. I feel like if these had been inserts in windowed packages, it would be perfect. I mean, it's a good backdrop for a character, a good way to kind of celebrate a character. I get why the complaints were made against windowless packaging, because it's really a crapshoot as to what you get. Like, unless you get a sealed in the box from Hasbro figure, you really don't know what it is. So, obviously, we're going to open him here, take a look at him. I've been wanting to unbox him for a bit, just haven't got around to it. First thing you'll notice, again, this really, kind of lame cardboard holder. I really wish they had done something with these. Some of them, as I remember, did have graphics that were really good, but this one's just kind of generic. But yeah, look at him. He's got his masked head on. There's really not much to see there. He kind of looks like he almost signed up for Cobra, but then he was like, nah, G.I. Joe's cool. His body kind of reminds me of Nunchuck. I'm thinking there's probably some similarities there with some color differences. Nunchuck, as I recall, has a masked head. I actually, fun fact, got Nunchuck before I got this guy. So I have Snake Eyes and Nunchuck already, and this guy was on my get list, but he was expensive because he was on Amazon exclusive, which he was $33 when I saw him on Amazon. So I was like, I'm going to wait, and then he went down to like $22, and I was like, you know what, that's a good price. Because first he went down to $29, and I was tempted. But I'm glad I waited, because he went down to $22, which is a much better price. It's not like this guy's a deluxe figure or anything. So that definitely, it felt like, wow, I get it, Amazon, you got exclusivity, but you got to play the game. Collectors aren't paying $33 because you wanted a figure that no one else could get. Admittedly, I kind of feel like that is the overall problem, though, with Hasbro, is anytime there's an exclusive item, it becomes really difficult to get because the price is difficult and distribution tends to be problematic, especially with retail exclusives. The Tiger Paw is supposed to be available at Target, but I have not seen it. I may have, but it's not going on clearance. Even though like Midwest and like Northeast Targets put them on clearance, our Target in Los Angeles and in SoCal don't seem to have the same problem that Targets across the country do. They're not pressed to sell the product. It's almost as if Targets in the area understand that the market's different here and that people might actually buy it and they're just holding on to it. I don't know. Maybe the Midwest just doesn't have a good job. They just got a lot of product coming in and they don't have time to keep it on the shelves, or their shelves are full. But shelves in California are almost never full now, and it just feels like a joke. They're never full, and then product, when it arrives, is always too pricey, and then when it does go down to clearance, it somehow disappears. That's kind of my big frustration with Target right now, is if a Joe ends up on clearance, it'll guaranteed be off the shelf, hidden somewhere. Like, why? Why does a figure set like Nagahide, Pork Chop, and Yabo, that's supposed to be for sale, end up somehow not being available for a discounted price, simply because Target doesn't even have it on the shelf for you to buy it, even when it is at the discounted price. Like, the sticker's there, and it's pretty clear that it should be there, but I'm thinking what's going on is either employees or customers are hiding them and hoping to come back when they're clearanced out. If an employee's doing it, that's really shitty. Like, that's just pure gaming the system. But if it's Target, it's a customer, that's different. Okay, so this is interesting. His box came with these cardboard holders. These are used for the long weapons, which they use them for the rifles in the Viper 3-pack, which I paid $70 for. I shouldn't have paid $78 for it. I should have waited because it ended up being on sale for $50 on a website called Kids Warehouse, and I've seen it going on sale. I might get another set of Vipers, although I'm also kind of tempted to just wait for the retro. So there's some of his stuff. I think his Uzi is in here. I think. Better be, because it's not in the bag. I mean, I did buy him direct from Amazon, and he came with the shipper, so that would be a really weird thing to be missing. Yep. Here's his Uzi. It's really just another Snake Eyes Uzi, so... You know, if you need an Uzi for a character, you don't necessarily see Kamakura as carrying it. You have an extra one lying around now. It's a good Uzi model, by the way. Nothing really wrong with it. There's his 2 katana blades. These holders are kind of easy to take apart. If you do it right, you can kind of pull weapons out. I like that he's got different sized blades. He's got a long blade. He's got like these long blades, which this one kind of looks like a bokun staff or something, but it's not. I don't know what I'd call it. I'm sure there's a proper term for it. If one of you knows what that is, just leave it in the comments below. And then he's got, yeah, this thingy. He's got a pair of like smaller blades. I'm not sure what the smaller blades are called either, but they're kind of staff-like blades. These blades actually came with a Kiko. That's where I saw these blades. I think they first came with a special Snake Eyes. Likewise with the katanas, which have been reused with Storm Shadow and with Helix, among other things. He's a good figure, not a $33 figure, but a good figure. Here's his extra head. This is his unmasked sculpt, which comes with a mask, ironically. A thing that you put over it like a hoodie. I guess you could use it with both. Yeah, there we go. He kind of has a face that isn't too, like, special. He kind of makes me think a little bit of Duke. He looks like he might be related to Duke somehow, which maybe is a standard superhero face. He's got this knife, which is, I think, a Snake Eyes or Scarlet knife. But he also has it. I don't know exactly where on him it's supposed to go. But detail-wise, I mean, this is a good figure. You got muscular arms. You got the Arashikage clan tattoo. He's got metal... I don't think those are bracers, but they kind of are. He's got like a bracer on his left arm. And he's got like a metal protection on his hands and on his legs. Pieces of steel that are there, likely to protect the cushion. He's obviously got paint that goes around. Oh, sorry, my fingers are kind of in the shot. But yeah, I don't know, solid figure. I mean, details there, you know, not too much, not too little. He's got an interesting neck. That could definitely pose a problem if you're trying to head swap, because he's got a masked neck. Which almost doesn't make sense, but I don't know. Maybe with the... Is this... I think... Yeah, he's got like a... I think this is a neck piece. It's like a hood. Like a cover. So like if you took his head off and then put the unmasked head on, it would look like he's wearing... And I think that this unmasked mask is supposed to go with the unmasked head. I'm 99% sure of that. The masked head does look kind of bigger. The only downside, the interesting thing about this is that you do kind of have to fit the head in there, which I'm not sure. Maybe the masked sculpt, I'm assuming it doesn't fit it, but maybe it does. Maybe it's the same thing. I'm going to try him here with the neck, with what I think is a collar piece. But maybe that's to show that he was wearing a hood and he took it off. I think that's what that's for. I think this is supposed to be his I'm wearing a hood look. But no, his head doesn't quite fit, so there's... okay. This could be a problem. Does his head pop in there? It does not want to. This is going to be an interesting figure to definitely put together, and if this unmasked sculpt isn't going to go with the hood, I guess I have my answer about what the hood is actually for. I mean, there's no promo pictures that show him actually wearing the hood, so maybe there's a reason for that. But I would think the hood is for his unmasked head. I kind of like the unmasked look, so I'm going to try to get this to work. I will say, you know, it'd be rather unfortunate if in the end this just wasn't working. Feels like it's working, but it's kind of not. I kind of feel that the head's not fully snapped in place, only because I think this mask hinders the neck peg. Well, it's on there now, so I don't know. It's a little loose, but it's on there. It's hard to tell for sure. I don't know if he needs the... I think that's supposed to be, like I said, sort of like if he took the hoodie off. So maybe when he's fully unmasked. He does, by the way, have the same feet, I think, as... I think this is just the same figure as Kamakura, which means that's a lot of reuse. Kamakura obviously has a slightly different belt setup, and he came with nunchucks and things that this guy doesn't, but yeah, he's another cool figure to add to your collection. He was $22 on Amazon. I don't know if he still is. He might even go down more. If he does, I'll be mad because I paid $22, and you know, Hasbro needs to get it right. But yeah, he does look cool. I think he almost kind of gives me some slight Anakin vibes with the head, but you know, not quite. I don't know exactly which way these katanas are supposed to go when you put them on his back, by the way, but I like them. They're a good accessory. I think Storm Shadow proved that they were a good accessory. I kind of wish that Snake Eyes had some katanas, because that's like one thing he's sorely missing. I don't think he has a spot for his knife. I don't know where this knife goes. Yeah, in fact, he really doesn't. The only thing he really has a spot for on him is... I'm not even sure what you'd call this accessory. It's kind of like a tie. Maybe it's supposed to be part of his robe. That thing that looks like two pieces of cloth hanging down. It's obviously a cloth item, but I don't know what it's for. But he's cool. I mean, yeah, like I said, no place for his knife, no place for his guns. He just comes with a ton of stuff just kind of thrown together. Maybe they didn't know what to do yet, and they were trying to figure it out, and they didn't have a plan to give him a holster or anything, but yeah, I guess cool figure. I mean, I guess technically you could just say that he has stuff that he can use. I'm probably going to use his extra pistol and gun for something else for now, unless I decide to keep him with him, but there's really no point because he doesn't even have holsters for him, so... I mean, it makes sense with the outfit he's wearing, but you know what I mean. This, though, this has got to be his accessory. Again, the overall solid figure, I wouldn't say it's a $33 figure. $22 figure is what I would say, and if you agree or if you disagree or whatever you think about it, just let me know below. I'm really looking forward to opening more of these figures down the line, and there's a few figures you still need to get, like Mad Marauder Sarge and the new Retro Cobra Commander. Obviously, Retro Cobra Trooper, among other things. I still need Doc. I have Jinx. I'm gonna unbox her. And yeah, these are exciting figures, and I hope that, we see more stuff like this. We see more good quality figure sets with tons of accessories that aren't just, here's a character that we've already done 3 times. Let's give you another version. I'm kind of getting tired of seeing Snake Eyes. I feel like we need another Baroness. Same with like other characters like Scarlet. Obviously, we got that one, but it'd be nice to get maybe like a Pilot Scarlet soon or something. But yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.